Hello everyone and happy December. I always look forward to sharing with you my blooms and spike tours at the beginning of each month. And I also have a special treat for you all today. My holiday cacti are all in bloom. All three of my Thanksgiving cacti and my huge Christmas cactus are in bloom. So I'm going to also be sharing those with you in this tour today. And let's start off the tour with my daughter's Phalaenopsis that she was given just a few weeks ago. This is called Phalaenopsis Chian Xen Diamond. And I will place that in the description box below so you all will have that name. But this is absolutely a beautiful phal. I love the way that this is colored. There's speckles, there's polka dots. Each bloom is slightly different, which I find just very charming. So I love this phal. And next up is my miniature no ID dendrobium that I cannot call a no ID. I nicknamed this one April's Hope. I absolutely love this charming little miniature dendrobium. It is growing in New Zealand sphagnum moss, and it is doing just very, very well. Charming bloom on this one. And here is another new phal that was given to me about 3 months ago. And I actually did some experiments on this one to see if I fertilized it while it was in bud, if any of the buds would blast. And I found out that they do not. Of course, I fertilized them while they're in bud at a very low dose. And I will place a link to that video about how I do fertilize them while they're in bud so that you'll have that one. But as you see, the buds came through just fine, and this is a gorgeous bloom cycle on this Phalaenopsis. I wasn't even sure what color it was going to be, so I think that this is a very charming phal. And this is my beautiful Phal Carmen. I absolutely love this phal. The color of this one is just a showstopper. And this is the best bloom cycle I have ever had on this orchid. So it's absolutely gorgeous, and I am thrilled to share this with you all. 7 blooms on this one. And before I show you all the spikes on my orchids, I had to share this with you. Let's go ahead and show you my holiday cacti. I don't even know if I can talk while I show you these. These are just so beautiful when they bloom. This one, I just love it. This one's the one that's growing in my sunroom. It was gifted to me back in the middle of the summer. And oh my goodness, look at the show that this one is putting on. I had to share this with you all. It is just so beautiful. And also here are my 3 Thanksgiving cacti that I grow in my house. They decided to bloom all at the same time this year. This is a first. Normally the white one blooms, then the pink one blooms, and then the red one, but they just all decided they were going to bloom at the same time. So let me give you some close-ups of these blooms. All of them look slightly different, which is very interesting to me. And here's a close-up of the white blooms. They remind me of stars. The interesting thing is they have just a touch of pink in these blooms. It's absolutely beautiful. And look at this gorgeous shade of pink. These just seem to glow. I love this one. This is one of my favorite colors. It kind of reminds me of an orchid. The blooms are slightly rounded, much more so than the white ones. So just kind of trying to give you some time to just look at this beautiful, beautiful bloom. And as you can see, there's still several more buds on this pink one, so it will be in bloom for the next few weeks. I am so excited about this one. And these are the blooms on my red Thanksgiving cactus. They're a little bit different than the ones on my Christmas cactus. The ones on my Christmas cactus are like a scarlet red, and these are a true Christmas red. Absolutely beautiful. Up against that dark green foliage. I just love it. And I know it looks like my Cattleya is blooming, but actually I put my plum colored den behind this one, and it does look like it's actually blooming from the Cattleya, but that's my dendrobium. That is a better representation of the color of that dendrobium than I can get in my kitchen area. And my Cattleya has tooth sheaths and new canes growing as well. 2 new canes growing. So I'm going to have a lot of Cattleya blooms in the spring. And now I'm in my upstairs grow room, and this is my Phal Sogo Gotris Flora Ark. The very first bloom, it just bloomed out. And the color on this one will change somewhat over the next week or so. This one, it just takes a while for the color to set in, but I just think this little bloom is absolutely beautiful. And here is a close-up of my beautiful panda den. I have this bloom, and I also have another spike on this plant I will show you. And these are all in the different stages of opening up, which I think is very, very charming. Had to share this one with you. This is a beautiful little dendrobium. And now I'll show you some spikes that are starting to grow. This is Phal Legato. Yes, she is spiking. That is always a wonderful thing in my home. I love this Phal. She has her own fan club, and for a really good reason. So yay, I'm really excited about this spike. And here's the spike on my mini intensity. And as you see, it's going to be blooming soon, so I can't wait. This looks like it's going to have a really, really good bloom cycle this year. This is one of my favorite miniatures. And this is the last bloom on my little Phal Soho Vivian. She's absolutely beautiful. This bloom just keeps hanging on, so I admire that when they have one that just keeps hanging on the plant. And this is absolutely a perfect little bloom. And here are the secondary spikes on my Phal Soho Pearl. And as you see, I've got 3 new growths on these 2 spikes. So several of you have asked me, do I cut my spikes back on my phals? No, you never know when they're going to rebloom. So I can't wait to see what this one looks like. This is a beautiful little Phal. And look at the buds on my Vanda Tayani cerise. Oh my goodness, this is going to be absolutely fabulous when it blooms. And it seems like this spike just started. I believe I found it last month. Wow, that grew really, really fast, and it has a lot of buds on it. So I can't wait for this one to bloom. And this is a close-up of the spike on my Vanda Picara Blue. You can even see the happy sap there at the bottom of those buds. That is really, really cool. And these are all of the regular size phals that I have in my sunroom, and every single one of them have spikes. So I'm going to have lots and lots of orchid blooms to share with you all really soon. And honorable mention goes to my Vanda Pink Twilight. 3 secondary spikes here. So I'm going to have blooms on this one very soon, hopefully for the next orchid tour. And I thought I would end this month's tour with my beautiful red Christmas cactus. I just can't quit looking at this one. So I hope you all are having a fabulous day and be highly favored, deeply loved, and greatly blessed. And we'll talk to you all next time.